And we have favorites. Don't we? I mean, as parents, we go, oh no, I love all my children the same. Right? As children, we go, we know who Dad's favorite is. We know who Mom's favorite is. Don't you? And you know who the favorite normally is? The one who's kind of like them. The one who kind of thinks like them, and you know, and they're kind of drunk. You know what? We know what favoritism is. We have lived in favoritism. We have been raised, we've been rooted, we've been milked on favoritism. We know what that's like. Don't we?
Amen.
On every level we know. In grade school, we knew who the teacher's favorites were. Teacher said, oh, I don't have any favorites. Liar. Liar. You're lying. They have favorites because they were human. The same way I am and the way you are. So, this whole idea that God picked this guy Abraham and He made him His favorite because He loved Abraham more than He loved everybody else, right? Wrong. Did God have more love for Abraham than anybody else? No. No. But He picked out the children of Abraham. By the way, you remember how many children Abraham had? A little trivia there. 7. 7 sons. We don't talk about the other 5. We talk about the first 2. Okay, that's it. After I'm the 3rd son. After the first 2, it's like also ran. Oh, the first 2, and then the rest of the kids that we had. Okay. Out of those, it was traced through Isaac, right? We believe that. Our Muslim friends believed it was traced through Ishmael. Remember? Father of the Arab nations. And they think that Ishmael was the favorite. And we think Isaac was the favorite. Because God loved Isaac more than He loved Ishmael and the other 5, right? But we go through Isaac and then we go through Jacob. And we don't go through Esau because God loved Jacob more than Esau. But isn't that what the text says? Isn't that the argument that Paul just said? Jacob I loved, Esau I hated. We talk about Paul ripping one out of context with that one. Okay? He ripped one out of context there. Did God hate Esau? No. So from Esau, or from Jacob, we go through all the 12 sons, and then the 12 sons we get down to Judah. Through Judah we trace the lineage of Jesus, and that's because God favored the Jewish people. They were His favorites, right? Oh, come on. Weren't they His favorite? Weren't they the chosen ones? Doesn't that mean that they were loved more than everybody else? What were they chosen for? He tells us in the first paragraph. All of that He went through with great patience, it says in this chapter. With great patience He put up with them in order that the Messiah could come. Do you realize that's what the Jews were chosen for? That was it, according to Paul. That's what he said. That Jesus could come. A little baby. Right? Christmas trees, songs, Jesus, That was the reason, according to Paul, of being chosen. Do you realize that God went through that with great patience so we could have the context of understanding what it meant for Him to become flesh and live for a while among us? Paul says in Galatians, says that when the time was right that Jesus was born under the law, born of woman under the law, we had all of that stuff. That's all background. That's all backdrop. So you could understand what it meant for Jesus to be born. For God to become flesh. What's that do for the Jewish people? Aren't we still the favorites? Come on, aren't we special? Aren't we a little bit special? No, now it's the Christians who are special. We're the chosen ones, right? We're the only ones that God loves. Really? Oh, wait. Actually, it's the Protestants. The Protestant Christians, they're the ones that are special. They're the ones that were elected. We're the ones that God really loves, right? He just puts up with the other branch. Because they've got a lot of nice real estate in Italy. No. In the Protestants, it's basically our church. We're the ones that God really loves. It's the Calvin. I'm not the Calvins. It's not the Methodists. It's the Stone Campbell movement. We're the chosen ones, aren't we? Were we predestined for all this? Wasn't this all foreordained that we would have this building? And wasn't? Isn't that what he's talking about? Aren't we really the ones that God loves? Aren't we just a little special? The favorites, aren't we the... Wait. Actually, it's the Christian church south of the Mason-Dixon line, actually. It's the part, the ones that God really, really cares about. Because those other ones up there, they're kind of, they're a little too far off to this. We're actually the ones that are we're the chosen. Aren't we the chosen? Is that what Paul's talking about in Romans 9, 10, and 11? He's saying God put up with all of that so Jesus could come because you know what? He loves every last person here. Jew, Gentile, slave, free, male, female, Greek, barbarian, he's going to say. There's no favorites. He loves every Buddhist as much as he loves you. He loves every Muslim as much as he loves you. He loves every atheist as much or more. No, I didn't say more, did I? He loves them as much as he loves you. What Paul is saying in Romans chapter 9, 10, and 11 is yes, you were Jewish. Yes, you were part of this whole drama that went on that God was so utterly patient with. So Jesus could come and so believers. From the beginning, the plan was everybody would have access to the love of God through Jesus. They would know. Not that God wouldn't love them if they didn't know. Not that God wouldn't love them if they didn't accept the message. But do you understand what we do with this in our sinful nature? Do you know what we do with this? Do you know what our descendants did with this? When they came across the waters from Europe, they came over and said, we are God's chosen. And oh yeah, there happen to be some people living here. God doesn't really care about them. We are the chosen. We're the favorites. Matter of fact, they're not really even human. And we can dispatch of them. And then we brought people over from Africa to work for nothing. Because we are the chosen. We are the ones that are God's favorites, and they're not really even